Now, if you look at the OSP's report, point 5, or he wrote numbers to that effect. So there's a place they wrote 5.12. Now, at 5.12, the OSP says that, no, 5.12, sorry, 5.12. That the OSP, 5.12. Okay, good. That the OSP confirms the identity of the following individuals. So, per the records of the court proceedings, as I said, they didn't want to use names or individuals or company names because they had settled the thing out of court. So there was no need for them to reveal their identities to the world. But we did our investigation here to establish who these individuals are, and they were accorded these coded names. And per the OSP's own report, he said that government official 1 or individual 1, who is that person? He said the individual described as government official 1 by the UK court, not by any Ghana court, is a UK court. And individual 1 by the US court. So the UK court accorded him with the coded name. They accorded him with the coded name government official 1. And when you come to US, he has a new name, which is individual 1. So John Dramani Mahama is the one these courts are referring to. So when you go to UK today and go through their documents, their court documents, you realize that the name government official 1 is there, and it is there for a reason. The reason is that they were involved in a scandal.
Do you understand?
When you go, I'm coming, please.
Tabitha, I will appreciate if you don't scream at me when I want to ask a question. Because people are sending messages. Hold on. People are sending messages and obviously are not appreciating even your way of communicating with me. So let's just have a decorum discussion. I want to ask if you appreciate the courts identifying a person's name with a code name like government official 1 when there's a legal investigation of this nature. And how do you appreciate if the courts, the US courts and the UK courts, identify someone as government official 1? Does that identification necessarily makes the person a criminal? That's for the purpose of the legal investigation.
I said something. Before I made mention of the coded names, I said, and let me say it again, that individuals and institutions were involved in a global scandal. And because the case was settled in such a way that they didn't want it to be in the public domain because of the individuals that were involved, they decided to accord them with these coded names.
Right.
And so as part of the investigation that the OSP is supposed to do, he's supposed to unmask what those coded names stand for.
Yeah.
And so for now, I am telling you that the coded names that are in the court document, they are referring that coded names, which the OSP himself confirmed, that if you hear government official 1, it refers to John Dramani Mahama.
Yeah.
And if you hear individual 1 at the USA, it refers to John Dramani Mahama. That's the first point. And they went ahead and said that he is a citizen of Ghana. Of course, we all know who John Dramani Mahama is. And he was the vice president of Ghana from 7th January. Let's take note of the dates. 7th January 2029 to 24th July 2012. Now, if only you don't mind, I would like that we write these numbers down so that we don't have any problems. So from 2029 to 2012 July, okay, John Mahama was a vice president around this time. He was the vice president of Ghana from July 2012 to January 2017. So he became a vice president from July 2012 to January 2017. Okay? So these dates are very important.
January 2017.
Yes.
He became vice president.
He became vice president during this time.
January 2017, he was
No, I'm reading from what they said. I'm reading that he was the vice president of Ghana from July. If you have the document,
okay,
you can also read.
I see what
it's
you're
written.
To.
I'm reading from a document.
What is written?
Yes. Okay. To January 2017. His tenure of office as the vice president of Ghana coincided with the time frame of UK and US investigations. Please, you don't tell me to read it well. This is a document I have.
He said he was the president, not the vice president.
This is what I am reading.
No,
fine. So I'm coming. Yes. He was vice president. The first one is saying that
from
he
January.
Was, okay, so in the first one, I'm coming. I have seen where you are talking about, so I'll take it again.
So admit
that
a mistake.
Yes, there's a mistake there. He is a citizen of Ghana. He was the vice president of Ghana from January 2009 to
24th July 2012.
2012. So that's for the first one. Here he was vice, and then the second one he was president. Okay. Now let's keep going. So they said that during this time frame, okay, with the time frame of UK and US investigation of the first Airbus campaign for the sale of 2 C-295 aircraft to Ghana, his term as the president of Ghana occurred during the UK and US investigation time frame of the second Airbus campaign for the sale of 1 C-95 aircraft to Ghana. So, during his time as president, this happened. There was a sale of an aircraft. Then they went ahead to identify intermediary 5 and consultant 4. Who is intermediary 5 and who is consultant 4? Now, the individual described as intermediary 5 by the UK court and consultant 4 by the US court is known both as Samuel Adam Mahama and Samuel Adam Foster. He is a UK citizen and a citizen of Ghana. He is a younger brother of the full blood of John Mahama, a former president of Ghana. His birth name is Samuel Adam Mahama. He was adopted from Ghana and taken to the UK in 1972 by a British missionary couple. So he was trained by a missionary couple. And I wonder where that training went when he decided to do these things.
To do what?
I'm coming.
So
I'll get there. No, I'll get there. No, I'll get there. I will get there.
Tabitha, this history, this is let me say, the premise on the report.
Yes, that's why I said I'll get there.
What has
I said he decided to do with I didn't tell you what he did. What did I tell you what he did?
I'm saying that.
I didn't tell you what he did.
I'm saying that. What has it to do with the conclusion of the report?
So I haven't gotten there. That's why I said wait.
We don't have a lot of time.
Okay, we don't have. Because she started her submission around 9:28.
No, it's not true.
No, I wrote it down.
She didn't start around 9:28.
That was when
she
started.
Okay,
you
on
let
Airbus.
me go. It's okay.
It was past 35.
I chose not to talk
He was adopted
Yes.
from Ghana, and okay, so they went ahead to say all these things. Now, when you go back to the OSP's report, that has to do with the Airbus SE. They said they made some payments.
Yeah.
let's go back and read the payments that they made and who received them. Because now we know, when I'm reading, we know who intermediary 5 is and who government official 1 is. Yes. So when you go back to read 4.34, 4.34, they said, under this scheme, on 20th March 2012,
who said?
Under this scheme, on 20th March 2012, around that time, Mahama was president. Airbus entered into a contract with Organization 1. And we already unmasked Organization 1 to be Adams Mahama.
It's not true.
That is what they
Adam Mahama is called.
That's always
intermediary 5 and consultant 4. That's Adam Mahama. So check your facts right. Look at it.
I'm coming.
Write it. So we wrote it down. So check your facts right.
To provide business partner services to the C95 Ghana campaign, although the agreement was signed on 20th March 2021, it stated that the effective date for the contract was 1st January 2010. Please, let's pay attention to this, please. It stated that the effective date for the contract was 1st January 2010. And when you look at 2010...
Do you know what effective date is?
I'm coming.
And the payment was made to who?
The interjection is coming from both you and her. And at times, you see, because I want to build a case so that I can say what I want to say. When these things are going on, it doesn't help. Please, Beatrice, just keep quiet.
No, I just...
Keep quiet.
That's fine.
So if she doesn't know effective date, it tells how I come back to her.
So in your rebuttal, you can say, the agreement was signed by Airbus Defense and the Space Management, and it noted that Organization 1's operational address was in Ghana, despite the fact that the Organization 1 was operating in Spain. Now, there's a background to this. Organization 1, because Adams Mahama decided to go and work with Organization 1. And Organization 1 is found in Spain. But somehow, they decided to find themselves in Ghana and operating. So how can that be possible? So they went ahead and said that, provided that was in Ghana, despite the fact that Organization 1 was operating in Spain, under the agreement, Organization 1 would be provided a success fee for the C295 aircraft sale. Now, the success fee was calculated to be approximately over 3 million euros, a similar amount to that previously promised to Consultant 4. Now, pursuant to the agreement between March 2012 and February 2014, Airbus paid in excess of 3.5 million euros to Organization 1 in Spain. The payments were authorized by SMO International. Now, they went ahead to say that thereafter, Organization 1 transferred money to the account of the company owned by Consultant 4 and Consultant 5. Organization 1 took a percentage of the money prior to the transfer. In total, the company owned by Consultant 4, and Consultant 5 was paid in excess of 1 million euro, 1.8 million euros in May 2012, related to the 2011 sale of 295S aircraft. Consultant 4 later claimed over 71,000 euros was still owed him and related to this sale. In February 2014, Airbus management so they went ahead to talk about the fact that Airbus also accepted that facts were established beyond reasonable doubt and that the facts took place during the relevant time period. Airbus accepted and acknowledged that it was responsible under U.S. law for the acts of its officers, directors, employees, and whatever. They went ahead to talk about a whole lot of things. And they said, in February 2014, Airbus management SMO International and the Defense and Space Division sought to extend Airbus's contract with Organization 1, related staff to a subsequent campaign to sell this to Ghana. Airbus compliance staff rejected the extension request and required that a new contract be signed. In March 2015, this is where my interest is, a request was submitted for Organization 1 to be paid over 1.6 million euros for the 2015 sale of one C-295 aircraft to Ghana. Consultant 4 subsequently demanded from both Airbus and Organization 1 payment of this amount.
Okay.
Now, it went on and on to say...
Conclude.
...that during this time period, monies were paid and the monies found their way into Ghana. Now, you see, during this period, you realize that the only two individuals, or one individual that has direct link to the then vice president and the then president is, what do you call him? Yes, Mr. Adams Mahama. So the question is, what was the conclusion of the OSP? He said one thing. And I think we should always say it, and so I will say it. That per the evidence that he has concluded on a limited knowledge of evidence, because he did not get all the evidence that the US court and the UK court compiled to arrive at that. And so he is limited to the knowledge that he has here. And so will exonerate the ex-president.
Okay.
So that is not to say that they were not found in any crime whatsoever. Okay. They were involved in some monies exchanged hands. Some monies found their way into Ghana. And they linked them to Government Official 1 and Intermediary 5.
Who linked the money to Government Official 1? Okay. So
the report that I read, you know that Adams Mahama did not work in isolation.
So he worked with who?
He worked with one organization they call Organization 1. It is a Spain organization. Okay. Because he alone couldn't have helped or couldn't have done the whole transaction.
Okay.
He needed somebody or an organization that was stronger enough to be able to help.
Okay.
And this was what happened.
Okay. So